Well, hey there, neighbor. It's me, Angie. Yes, I'm alive. I didn't think I was for a while there, but I made it. I did. I put up a fight and I came out the winner. Thank goodness. It was touch and go there for a few hours to decide if I was going to have to go to the hospital or not, but I said no, that I could make it without going to get an IV, and I was losing strength and I almost fell. James couldn't get me up. See, I don't think a lot of people that don't live with a chronic illness on a daily basis realizes when you get something else on top of that illness, it's devastating. And to have to fight something for so long as I have had to fight it, you just get tired. You know, it's not like when you all get a headache and you get rid of it and then it don't come back for 3 or 4 months or a year. Or mine's not like that. Mine, every day I wake up, I'm in a battle with my own body. And it gets tiring. And then when you put another condition on top of it, like a virus, which was, oh my gosh, there had not been a virus in our house in years. Probably not even when my kids were in high school. I mean, we didn't get viruses here because I kept my house Lysol, Pine-Sol, sprayed, wiped down. I mean, when it was going around at the school, I pumped my children full of honey and vitamin C and all these vitamins, and it just, it didn't come around. But it snuck through the door this time, and we got sick. Taylor got sick first. Then it wasn't but a few hours later, I got sick. The next morning, James got sick. And thank goodness Brent was off work. We sent Lincoln home with him so Lincoln would not get sick. But you know, God gives I don't know what it is, but he has something over babies that protect them a lot of times from a lot of different illnesses. That is, if you don't keep exposing them to it over and over again. But anyway, that's been my last few days, and I'm glad to be back with you all. I'm so happy to be here chatting with you. I can't wait to do my live chat. But I want to tell y'all right off the bat, it's been a hard 3 or 4 days. I'm not going to lie. I don't want sympathy. I don't want you to feel sorry for me. That's just factual. It has been a difficult 3 days. But I made it. Taylor went back to work yesterday. James went back to work yesterday. So it looks like we're on the road to recovery now. I was so sick to my stomach and threw up so much that it scratched up my throat to where I can't hardly speak. But I'll try to do my best. I want you all to know I love you and there's nothing you can do about it. And this is our neighborhood chat video. And it's going to be about confessions. Because while I was sick, and I don't know what it is when I get to my lowest point, and I don't know if you all are like this or not, but I start thinking about the hereafter and not being here. Because that's how close I come every time that I get down. Because I don't know if I'm going to recover well enough to either get up and walk again, whether I'm going to go in the hospital and get an IV and be there for a month or so and be bedridden. Any little thing can trigger my health to spiral out of control. And I know this. And I'm fine with it until it happens. That's confession number one. Now, it happened, and I couldn't control it. And even though I was sick, I was still thinking about me as what I had contributed to the world, and what I had given back to what God had given me, or has given me. I've been so blessed, and I'm thinking, oh Lord, don't let me die now. I still have work to do for you. That's what I was thinking. Confession. Confession number two, I was tired of being sick. I am tired of being sick. Had me a little pity party. I just cried a few minutes and said, Lord, I'm just tired of this. I'm just tired. There's so much in my mind that I could think that I could be doing without being sick all the time. There's things in my house I want to do. There's things with my grandchildren I want to do. There's things with my children I want to do. There's things I want James and I to do that we can't do because of my illness. Okay, I was at my weak point, so I went there. Confession number three. Even though I'm being my authentic, true self to you all on YouTube, if I knew I only had weeks to live, how different would I be to you? And what would I say to you different than I say to you when you and I have our neighborhood chats? I haven't deceived you. I haven't been dishonest with you. But I think it would get a little more intense. You know, we'd go from kindergarten to a senior in high school, to maybe you not understanding what I'm saying right now, but years to come when you're walking through the grocery store or buying something or eating out somewhere or watching TV, something I say may come to your mind and you go, oh my goodness, that's what she meant by that. I get it now. Because I'm 56 years old and I do that. People in my past have said things that one day it just dawned on me like, oh my gosh, that's what they meant. And at the time they said it, it was like, okay, I can hear that. I can accept you feel that way. But then I really, really got it. Like the president of the bank told me one day, you know, Angie, a lot of Christians put God in a box. I didn't comprehend it like I should have as soon as he said it, because I was trying to think of what I was going to say to him next. And because we had different beliefs. We were both Christians, but he went to one denomination, I went to another. They believed a little different than we did. What difference does it make? You know? We wasn't trying to debate it. We were just having a discussion. Because I could have a discussion and never debate anything if the other person's willing. A lot of times the other person is not mature enough or willing to have a discussion. They want to rear up, get mad, get angry, pout, get, you know, all kind of attitude. But I know this man, and he and I, we were alike. We knew that I was grounded in what I believed. He's grounded in what he believes. And we were fine with it. So for years, I didn't really think about that comment. One day, I don't remember what I was doing or where I was. I had an experience that I had never had before. And I was like, God blessed me or something happened and to one of my children, or I don't remember. And all of a sudden, that's him. I could hear him saying, don't put God in a box. Because see, God created us. He knows how we work. We didn't create him. He knows everything about us, even the number of hairs we have on our head. He knows it. Now, a lot of you don't have the same belief as I do, and that's fine. So just remember, don't judge somebody for what they believe. Listen, if you're grounded in what you already believe, it's not going to affect you anyway. Don't try to change their mind. It's not for you to change their mind. The only person that can change their mind on their belief is God. Just love them unconditionally and accept them for who they are. That's all you're responsible for doing. Don't debate it. Don't dislike them because they don't believe like you do. I'm not saying become their best friend and hang out with them like every day, all day. But you might not want to do that. But I'm saying when you're together, don't shun them. I mean, I don't really mind people shunning me because I've been shunned by the best. Here in the South, and it doesn't just go on up in the Amish community. Here in the South, people shun each other. I don't know if y'all know that or not. But they've gotten it down pat about shunning. And it destroys people. It destroys people's self-confidence, their self-esteem, their life. Some people want to commit suicide because the worst thing you can do to someone is ignore them. I mean, psychologists will tell you that. The worst thing that can hurt a child is for you to ignore them and act like they're not even there. That can devastate their growth, their mental and emotional ability to function. But we as adults don't want to be ignored, or especially by someone that we think is supposed to care about us. You know? I used to have, I would call it a gift, but now that I look back, it wasn't a gift. It was just something that I had mastered over the years of the life that I had grew up in. I could tune things out like nobody's business. 1 minute you're there, and the next minute you wasn't. I had that ability. I could just click it on, click it off. I used to be proud of that, but I'm not proud of that anymore because I cannot imagine what I missed in life because I clicked it off. Now, I did click it off during some bad times, but why didn't I look for the good thing in that? That's what I'm asking myself now. I guess we're at confession number 4 or 5. I've lost count. Confession 5 is, from here on out, I'm going to tell you exactly how I feel if you ask me a question. I feel like I have in the past, but I find that so many people are angry. And, you know, in the book that I study, you know, it's a verse in there, and I think it's Ephesians, where Paul was talking and he says, be angry and sin not. Then he talks on about don't go to sleep with being angry with someone. But what I want to talk about is being angry and sin not. And you think to yourself, how in the world do you do that? Well, it's easy. Anger is one of our emotions, okay? It's a defense mechanism. We have to have that as a defense. If somebody irresponsibly tries to attack us for no reason, jumps on our body, wants to beat us up, we have to have the anger to fight back. We have to defend ourselves. That doesn't necessarily mean over a little spat that you have with somebody. The sin not is not acting upon it. You know, don't act upon your anger. And the reason it says don't go to bed angry is because once you sleep with anger, it's bigger the next morning. Because the next morning you wake up and you say, oh, I'm still mad. And she did this, this, and this, and he did this, this, and this, and they did this, this, and this, and it just grows. And had you taken care of it the night before, I mean, really taken care of it, got it resolved between you and the only person that was involved and not 15 other people, it would have been over with and it wouldn't have grown. Now, it took me a long time to learn that. I've been caught up in situations, and I've been angry with people, and I've let them know it. I mean, you can ask my extended family, you can ask James, you can ask my children, especially when it comes to my children, and I would think you did something to one of my children. Yes, it was on. But I had to grow through that and learn that I can't carry anger around with me all the time. Not from my childhood, not from early years of James and I being married. Not that we didn't have a good marriage, because we have, or I wouldn't have stayed with him almost 37 years. But we have had our disagreements. I know it's hard to forgive others that are not your immediate family. I know it's hard, because it's even hard to forgive people that are your immediate family, depending on the offense of, you know, whatever they did to you. It's hard. It's like we're not willing to reconcile what has happened. And once the bridge is washed out, it's so hard to build that bridge back. Because honestly, most of the time, what really hurts us is the fact that we trusted the person not to ever treat us like we think we've been treated. We might not take in consideration that somebody else may have stirred the pot. And I'm talking about both sides may not have looked at it and said, okay, who's really running the show? Is someone else stirring this pot? Or are we two the ones that are really running this show and trying to work this out? If there's somebody else stirring the pot in the disagreement that you and another person have, it's the pot stirrer that's the problem, in case you didn't know that. If you have a question for somebody, don't send somebody else to answer your question. Go to that person. Be adult enough to go to that person and say, hey, I want to ask you something. I'm asking you this because of this, this, and this. Don't send somebody else. People catch on to that really quickly. I've had people to do me like that over the few years that I've been on YouTube. And I still love them, but it shows me their level of maturity. You can figure out somebody's level of maturity really, really fast if you just listen. And for a long time, I didn't listen. I had what I wanted to say up here before the other person could get out of their mouth what they wanted to say. But through this sickness, I've realized that I've always said life is short, and it is. Any of us can be gone tomorrow. Right now, this afternoon, tonight. But when you get so close to that jumping off place, nothing else matters. Get it? Doesn't matter who's mad at who did what, when, and where, how many friends you have, how many friends they have, why they're angry at you, why you're not speaking to them, why they're not speaking to you. It does not matter. It does not matter right now. I mean, agree to disagree or reconcile. I mean, don't leave it in limbo where everybody is uncomfortable, don't know how to act in a live chat, which I don't have a problem with that anymore because I just love both parties or whoever's involved. Especially if it's a little squabble that really doesn't matter. Now, it has to be a big offense for me to take a side. Now, I'm not saying that I won't ever take a side, but it has to be grievous. I'm talking about really bad towards somebody. And it's not that I wouldn't love the person that did the offense. It would just be, I would more say that person needed to be punished. You know, I've sat on juries before, civil cases, criminal cases. So I know what that's like to have to make a decision about somebody's life. But I'm telling you, the bottom line is the reason that we try to be in large and in charge is because we want control. Control of what? I don't know. Because in reality, we control nothing but ourselves. How we act, what we say, what we do, how we are, how we treat people. That's the only thing we really can't control. We can't control the other person. And if you're trying to control the other person, then you have a problem. And if the other person is allowing you to control them, they have a problem. It's called codependency. Everything has a name. This is 2024. Everything has a name. So I think that's about 5 confessions that I have to share with you. And I have a few more, but I don't want this video to be too long because I want you to watch the entire video to understand. And please hear me when I say this. Life is too short to be angry, to be vengeful, to be sad all the time, to be depressed all the time, to not go seek medical help when you need it, to not reach out to others when you want to talk, to not accept that other people are not going to accept you. Go find your people. They're out there. Don't end your life. Don't let people bully you into that. No. The best medicine you can give a bully is to be successful. That's the best medicine. And with that being said, neighbor, I love you and there's nothing you can do about it. Like, share. Consider becoming my neighbor. Join my neighborhood. We have a real good time over here on this corner of the world. Bye, neighbor.